Hello, everyone. This is BornToPun coming to you with my co-caster Lucas, and we are going to be casting tonight's Kongdoo Special Matches featuring Bisu, Sea, Pusan, and Killer. Lucas, how you doing?
Pretty good, man. How about you?
I'm actually doing phenomenal right now. I am
Um,
like fidgeting in my seat. I'm so excited for these games to start.
oh yeah, I'm pretty happy to see the at least a recognition that there's some StarCraft going to be played now.
Yeah.
It's exciting. You might want to maximize
Okay.
the
Let's take it to the
window.
max.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. So this is it. This splash screen just came on a couple seconds ago, and we're hopeful that that means the games are going to start soon. But let's talk a little bit about the players tonight. So it's Bisu, C, Killer, Pusan, two Toss, one Zerg, one Terran. Um, and I was looking a little bit before the games. This is really a pretty good representation of one of the best players of each race, if not the best player of each race at the moment in StarCraft Brood War. Would you agree with that?
I'd absolutely agree with that. We have the best players in the world of each respective race playing tonight. I'm really looking forward to that. And then Pusan's in the mix, why not?
Yeah, Pusan, right? Because they're playing it in
Yeah.
Pusan, so you have to have Pusan.
It just
He
works.
runs the
Yes.
city.
Right. So we have Bisu, who's I guess pretty undisputedly the certainly the top Protoss, if not certainly the top player right now, and Killer probably the top Zerg.
I think
And
he's pretty definitively the top Zerg right now. I mean,
yep.
he's got to be the top, right?
Yeah. There's also like Hero and Man Modesty had a really good run too.
Yeah.
But in terms of just like solid, consistent performance, Killer's doing really well. And then on the Terran front, we've got C, who's just been, I guess over the years, he's won so many Sonic matches and Star Leagues, and he's always been consistently top performing Terran, if not the best Terran right now.
Yeah.
So
Going all the way back to even before StarCraft 2 came out, he was never an elite. I don't think he ever won an OSL or an MSL, or even got to the finals. I don't think. So he was never like a champion player, but he was always a solid player. And if he was on your team in the pro league and they sent him out, you always felt pretty good about it. He was just an all-around solid player, and I think he's also a nice guy. I've never met the guy, but that's like my impression of him is that he's like a nice guy and someone that I always like to cheer for him.
yeah, C's a really nice guy. You're right. He never won a major. He's actually listed number 5 in GTR's article. Best Terrans to never win a major.
Oh, who's 1 through 4? Because if you just asked me that question, I would have put C.
We've got C from 5 to 1. We've got C, Good Friend, Light, Iris, and Midas.
Oh, Midas, yeah. I was thinking Light number 1, C number 2, but yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I don't know. I'd put C a little higher though. I don't know necessarily who I'd bump, but C's a good player. And then
Yeah,
Killer. So Killer, like he was Jaedong's protege. That was how he
yeah.
was sort of marketed. He was on Hwasong Oz. Is that how you say it, by the way? Do you know how you say the name of that team?
I think that sounds about right.
Yeah, it's like Americanified
The
enough.
English way to say it. Yeah.
Um, so he was playing on that team with Jaedong. Jaedong obviously being, I think, pretty undisputedly the best Zerg in the last era of StarCraft.
Yeah, and Haya, yeah, we gotta mention Haya too for best the contender for best Terran right now. He actually beat Bisu in the finals of the previous show match
Oh, is that right?
that we had. Yeah, actually before I guess during the pre-game banter, Bisu was going on about how he I guess he wants to get revenge. Well, can't get revenge on Haya. He's not playing tonight, but wants to redeem himself after his loss in the finals of that previous show match. So
Yeah, I'm reading the Twitch chat here, and thanks. Let's actually, we have some time. Let's do a couple quick shoutouts here to some of the people that helped make this happen. Um, and in no particular order. One, I definitely want to shout out to Apocalypse. So the way this cast came together was like very last minute, very unplanned. Um, Really, what happened was it was like Wednesday. I had never cast a Brood War game or any game in my life, and I just got this sudden inspiration to cast Brood War. So I made a cast and I put it on YouTube. And then I had so much fun that I did the same thing on Thursday. And then I thought, oh, there are these show matches coming up. Why don't I cast these. I post on Team Liquid. I get a PM from you, Lucas, saying let's co-cast it together. Okay, awesome. And then really it was like today when Lucas and I sat down, figured out like how we were going to stream it, troubleshot Twitch streaming for a while, and then tried to go through the process of getting our stream like authorized and everything. And Tupac was like right there within a couple minutes of us posting on Team Liquid thread, and he was like, "Oh, I added you to the stream. You're good to go." So big shout out to him for making this happen. That was really awesome.
Yeah, he set us up pretty nicely. So. Yeah. That's pretty good. You might want to maximize the stream, by the way.
Okay.
Yes.
If I maximize, I can't read Twitch chat, so you are officially in charge. And if they say like change any settings, let me know.
I'll keep an eye on it.
Also, a shout out to Stratos or Stratos. He's the guy that posted the event thread for this event. He was also helpful in getting the stream set up. And yeah, it's like people like that who post about these events and do all that grunt work that keep the Brood War scene alive. Because without this, like without Team Liquid and without the Brood War section of Team Liquid, I mean, I would have absolutely zero way of staying in touch with the Brood War scene. So that's really awesome too, and thanks a lot for doing that. Yeah, it's like people like that who post about these events. And then one more shout out, I guess. What are we watching here? Are we watching? Is this the event? Is this it?
This is the event, yeah. So they're on a big stage, right?
Oh, here we go. Okay, I thought it was going to be outside for some reason. But yeah, here we go. This is definitely the event. You're absolutely right. The last shout-out to squeeze it in real quick is Hyrule Gambit. I hope I'm saying that right. He posted a lot of matches on Reddit. He's actually posted the matches that I ended up casting. And I think he also does the power rankings, which are awesome. They're fun to read. Go read them. And that's like just another cool thing. Another cool resource and a feature of the Brood War community, which is at this point, like, outside of Korea, you know, the Brood War community is totally driven by people that just have passion for the game and want to talk about it and write about it and watch it. So, big thanks to him, big shout out to him, and that's all my shout outs, for now at least. So, let's get into the games.
And here's a camera on us, obviously. This is us talking right now.
Oh yeah, I'm the one in the middle.
Yeah.
My voice.
And I'm both people.
You're both people on my sides.
Yeah.
Do we have any more information on the format of these games? Because as far as I know, I don't know anything. So as far as I know, there's nothing.
I don't think anybody really knows. We just know the name of the players, and you can try to refer it back to the previous match, but I'm really not sure what we have in store. But I know the games are going to be great because we've got 3-4 amazing players. So
I'm absolutely hoping we see at least every player play every player once. That's my threshold, goal. If we get that, I'll be happy pretty much no matter what else happens.
Yeah, every matchup should really be good. Man, even Sea versus Pusan, like Sea was really going at it with Pusan earlier.
Yeah.
Ragging on him for being an old 30-year-old man. You know?
Hey, in Brood War age, 30 years old is like 80 years old, you know? Your hands just can't keep up, your reflexes aren't as good, your eyes aren't as good.
It's like dog years.
Yeah, it's like dog years.
Yeah, no, 30 years old is like grandpa by. Oh man, okay, we got the brackets up here. So it does look like we're just in for 3 matches, I'm guessing.
So it's
and
just a straight bracket?
Don't know.
Okay.
I don't know who they are though. I don't know who's facing off against who.
Neither do I.
But, so each player will not be playing all the other players.
So ideally, I think what's your ideal bracket here? I think my ideal is.
I don't know who they are though.
I guess I want Bisu and Killer
in the finals.
I want them to face each other. I want to put them on opposite sides of the bracket so they meet in the finals. The only risk is one of them might lose and then we don't get to see them play, right? So I guess I put them together just to see the guaranteed match, and then Sea and Pusan, and then ideally we have like a Sea Bisu finals. That's what I'm hoping for. Calling it right now.
Right. Yeah, that might be. I mean, I can totally see the reasoning behind that, and that actually might be a consideration that they, I guess, took into. I don't know,
Yeah.
yeah, deciding what to do here. But I'm pretty sure that, well, I don't know. Regardless of who plays who, it should be really fun. C and Killer also have a lot of history behind each other. I'd be happy to see another rematch, the rematch of the rematch between them.
I really hope we get to see that, both because it'd be a good rematch and because it'd be a TVC, and that's my favorite. I think that's probably my favorite matchup to watch. Although they're all great.
Yeah, they're all great, and we're going to see probably a lot of matchups here. I mean, pretty equal race distribution.
Yeah,
Only 4 players, but
I wonder, did it say on there? Not that you know Korean, but I wonder if it's going to be just one games, or is it going to be best of threes? Although they're all great.
oh, I'm thinking probably best of 3, at least, if not best of 5. But I mean, best of 1s are just so they're just so uncommon. I'm pretty sure. So
Well,
yeah,
it is a special match, Lucas.
it is a special match. That's right. We can't just
Yeah.
let them off with a best of 1.
Although if it was a best of one, if it was just
Yeah.
3-1 games, this could be over potentially
Oh.
in like 40 minutes.
So we've got C starting up here. Look at that.
There he
Not
is.
a bad list of accolades for him.
Looking pretty badass. Looking pretty focused right now.
So I'm pretty sure yeah, so round of 16 is probably what he got there. 2007 MSL, 2008 round of 16 finish probably. I'm just guessing that that's what the numbers mean. So yeah, as we were mentioning before, C is a really strong Terran player who's never really won a major back when, Brood War Pro Gaming was in full swing, but he's certainly proven himself to be a top player and probably the top Terran right now, if not him or Haya. And so he's been playing really well, and really looking forward to what he has in store against Pusan, it seems, is our next player.
Okay, I think you're about 2 seconds ahead of me on the stream, so
Okay, I'll keep
that's
that in
fine.
mind.
That's fine. And this is it, isn't this? I think this is what I said I wanted to see, right? I wanted to see Diesel Killer, see Pusan. So, hey, I'm already happy. No matter what happens, this has already been a great night.
This is good. We've got a guaranteed Bisu Killer match. So that's good.
Do we want to make any predictions as to who takes this whole
Hey,
whole
did you
thing
know
down?
in the year 2007, Pusan finished in the round of 16? In
There's some
MSL?
players like Flash that we like to talk about as being really good over a long period of time. But Pusan, being able to be at such a high level of StarCraft for 20,000 years, I mean, no one else is even in his league. Like, come on, this guy takes it down.
Pusan has a time machine that he's used to go forward in time to win StarCraft tournaments.
Right, that's really advanced. It's fitting that he's a Protoss player, because only Protoss could possibly have that technology. Okay, so if I'm not mistaken, no, this isn't Fighting Spirit. What map is this?
I'm not sure, but it certainly looks a lot like Fighting Spirit.
Yeah, it's Fighting Spirit-esque. You got the
I mean,
you got the main, the natural, and the third forming a little triangle. This isn't Fighting Spirit. What map is this? Even the middle of the map looks the same. But what map is this? Someone throw it down in chat. Yeah, it's Fighting Spirit-esque.
Somebody said Fighting Spirit. I mean, it looks really close.
I thought there was no water on Fighting Spirit. Maybe I'm just being thrown off. Maybe I'm wrong.
It might be one of the new maps that they're been trying to use. That's often these new maps are kind of just like remakes of the old maps. It seems.
Yeah.
There's only so much you can do within the constraints that we've kind of established. That I guess that we've determined make for decent games and maps that are balanced at least somewhat decently.
Okay. If the chat is saying Fighting Spirit, then I defer to them. But I would have sworn there was at least a version of Fighting Spirit.
Yeah, it's definitely
no
Fighting
one.
Spirit,
Okay.
apparently.
Okay. Well, my first instinct was right, and then I talked myself out of it and got caught up by
Oh,
chat.
yeah.
So, welcome to being a caster.
GG. But yeah, here we go. C versus Pusan. Should be pretty good. Let me quote something from I guess pregame chat here.
Oh yeah.
This is pretty good. so you guys can get a sense of some of the chat between these two players. C says Pusan's weak point is, of course, him being 30. He's deteriorating physically.
Ouch. Those are fighting words.
It's rough.
Because South Korea has like the most polite culture, especially to your elders. To say something even that aggressive is like that's fighting words right there.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So spawning at the top left here as the yellow Terran is C.
Yep, there's C, and then over in the top right, if we can click it, just waiting for the obs to click it.
Spawning at the top left here as the
Alright, well it looks like he doesn't want to click on it, but in the top right, there we go, is our white Protoss Pusan. Yep, there's C, and then over in the top right.
Sure is, and really looking forward to this match. I mean, wonder if we're going to see any funky plays coming out of either of these players. Looks like a pretty standard gateway coming down for C getting his supply depot.
Yep, probably going to see...
Is he going for a CC first, though? No, looks like just getting the barracks on the low ground.
Okay. Yeah, you are about a second ahead of me. Yeah, I think getting the barracks, and then we'll probably see just a fast expand, a factory fast expand, or maybe a barracks fast expand if he's feeling like being a little more economical.
Looks like just getting the barracks on the low ground.
Yeah, you are about a second ahead of me. Yeah, I think getting the barracks, and we'll probably see...
Yeah, Pusan not getting too lucky with his scouting route is probably going to scout C at the last possible moment for him.
Yep, looks that way. Although, you know, that's not too big of a deal. C's not doing anything crazy yet, so you know, these players have all these timings and everything down to they have it, they know it in their bones. So he'll walk in there, he'll see what C's doing, and he'll say, okay, these are openers that I've played 1,000 times before. I'm totally comfortable. And then we'll just see how the players want to go from there. He is sending across the first Zealot. Of course, he now knows by process of elimination where C is. So until we get a Marine or two out, you know, he is going to be able to whack away. And of course, the Zealot will beat a Marine.
And C's wedged his supply depot here beside the barracks, so that's going to give some cover for this Marine.
Yeah, he can just make
and it's very much needed cover. Great block here by the SCVs, getting the Zealot stuck.
Yeah.
I think he's lost 2 SCVs so far, though. So C's really got to minimize the damage he takes from these early Zealots.
Yeah,
and I think he's doing that so far.
Yeah, he loses the Zealot, but he's delaying the CC quite a bit. He's forcing some SCVs to be pulled, which is a significant amount of mining time, and he's sending another Zealot across too. So, you know, he's doing a little bit early aggression, and it's paying off. So I'd say he's in a good spot right now.
Yeah, Observer pointing out that that Pusan's only got 1 guy on gas right now, so probably going to focus more on getting his economy up to speed now.
C's got that bunker up, so he's going to move the racks out, I think, and use it maybe as part of a wall, or maybe just go start scouting with it right away. But either way, he's feeling pretty safe now with that bunker up, getting the factory up. So he did go racks, racks fast expand. I think the standard opening against TOS is factory fast expand, so all his stuff will be a little bit later, all his tech will be a little bit behind, but certainly not anything crazy.
Yeah, certainly not. And I mean, going for the racks fast expand really shows C's confidence in this matchup, I think, because a lot of players inferior to C would just kind of die straight up from Protoss aggression. I mean, there's a lot of things that Protoss can throw at you if you're doing a racks fast expand. That can be really hard to deal with if you don't get that earlier factory up. But C is too good for that.
Yeah. Although maybe I misspoke earlier when I said that scouting C last wasn't a big deal. If he had scouted that first and seen the racks fast expand, maybe things would be a little different right now. Who knows?
Yeah, we don't know. But C's too good for that.
So out comes the Dragoon. The first Dragoon is always sort of a big unit in TVP that kind of gives map control. to the Protoss player. Naked Marines can't really engage with Dragoons. The Dragoons outrange them. And once he gets Goon range up, I think he can start taking pot shots at this bunker and force an SUV pool to come repair it.
Definitely. And oh man, Pusan going for the DTs.
Yeah, he's not
So
upgrading. You see, the cybernetics core is not spinning, so he's not upgrading Goon range. He's just going to take that gas and.
no, I'm pretty sure he just got goon range. Yeah,
Oh,
he's
okay.
barreling down. So he's already researched it, and he's barreling down on this bunker. C's of course going to repair that, but can Pusan keep C in the dark, keep him from seeing this Templar archives? Looks like he's yeah.
He probably can,
C's
right?
not,
How can he scout
yeah.
this?
There you go. C's not going to be able to see it, so the timing of the eBay here from C is going to be really critical.
Absolutely. He's got the tank out now, so the goons themselves aren't a threat as long as he doesn't really fudge up his micro. And yeah, they're just going to go and back off. There's no reason to risk those. He's
And
double
there's the
upgrading,
eBay.
and there's the eBay. So he's getting two upgrades right now. That's got to be siege mode and vulture mines, right?
Yeah, probably. I mean, it kind of depends on what C has in store. It could
Could be
potentially
speed, speed mines.
vulture speed if he, yeah, could be thinking of running some vultures in. But mines would certainly be really helpful also against these upcoming DTs.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great point. Yeah, mines do kill DTs. And DTs are weak, so one little mine can do quite a bit of damage.
Definitely. The first DT is on the way here, and the turret's coming up. I'm not sure if it's going to be there quite in time. Looks like it's just going to finish on the break of time.
It's going to
Very
be
nice
close,
timing.
but it's going to be up, I think. Yeah. And this
Oh.
DT might just die if he doesn't pull it back. If he doesn't see it pull it back, he's just going to lose it. But he does, and he parks it right out of the range of that tank. So I guess at this point it's really just a really expensive scout, but he's not going to get anything done with that DT, unfortunately.
Yeah, so that was kind of a gamble by Pusan. It wasn't too bad though. I mean, his opening he didn't have to sacrifice that much economy to get that DT out, but it's really not the kind of tech he probably would have wanted to go if he knew that he wasn't going to get any damage done.
That's right. That's right. And here come the mines, and this is always fun to watch. Terran players trying to micro their vultures with mines to try and catch dragoons. It looks like he didn't get any there, but now he's got those mines out. Those give him a nice little scout of any attacks that are coming his way, and both players are just going to kind of take their thirds and go into a more typical macro game.
Yeah, definitely. See, planning down some mines, he's going to be annoying and get a lot of mines down probably along Pusan's side of the map, and that'll give him some good map vision and let him know when Pusan's moving out too with a lot of his forces.
Right. It looks like
definitely.
it looks like C is kind of preparing to move out now with a small but pretty potent force. Just a couple tanks do quite a bit of damage, and if there is an engagement and mines and vultures can take out the lots, and it's just goons, well, those will die pretty much instantly to any tanks. So this force is potent here.
I think C had a window of opportunity where he could have probably done a lot of damage to Pusan. These DTs don't really give him too much firepower, but as I say that, they're kind of pushing him back now, at least at this third. C's going to want to establish a tank line at that third base pretty quickly, and he's floating the CC over there right now.
Yeah, has he built comset stations yet? I was surprised not to see a scan there, but then I realized he may just not even have scan yet. And if you don't have scan, you really can't move out against DTs because you have no way of detecting those without scan.
Yeah, at least not until the science vessels come, which will be much later. Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure he does have comsat. I think I saw one go off there. And yes, he sure does.
So he's kind of being a little indecisive here. He doesn't really know if he wants to move out or not move out. Although I think right now the pressure's not really on the Terran. If Terran wants to stay back and macro up and get a max supply army, that's fine. Terran can do that as long as they're being active with their vultures and not letting TOS take a bunch of bases. They really don't have to move out until they're good and ready, I don't think.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I think the pressure here is on Pusan to make a move. I mean, he opened up for kind of crappy opening with the DTs, didn't get any damage done,
Mhm.
and and now Pusan's on three base, and he's about to face off against a three base Terran, and you know that's not the position you want to be in. Uh, as a Protoss, generally against a Terran, you want to be up at least a base,
Yeah.
and looks like Pusan is getting arbiters now, so maybe some sort of recall or a stasis bust.
Yeah, that's an early arbiter, right? I mean, I'm not really sure what he's going to do with this. It'd be tough for him to get in there and recall because there's a lot of turrets up, and C's got good vision, so any arbiter coming in, he'll see it ahead of time. I think it's got to be something stasis wise because I just don't see him getting a good recall off here.
Yeah, I don't think C is cutting too many quarters here with his defense.
No.
He's got a bunch of turrets up.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just don't know exactly what Pusan has in mind here.
Yeah, I mean, look at C's vision. I think you guys can see my cursor. He has so many mines and everything dropped around the map that wherever Pusan goes with this arbiter, C's gonna know it's coming, and he'll be able to deflect it probably without too much difficulty. So I'm not really sure that this arbiter's gonna be worthwhile anytime soon. Maybe he's just getting it early to have it accumulate energy for something later. Maybe that's kind of my only guess.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but there's a drop coming in for C, it seems. Um, and just comsatted or scanned the natural Pusan. Saw that there was a bunch of stuff in the way.
Yeah,
Decided to turn back.
didn't like what he saw. Um, what was there? Vultures in there probably.
Oh, you mean like cannons and stuff? Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if you're behind on the stream here, but C's moving out with he dropped a bunch of vultures here in between the third and the natural of Pusan.
Yeah, I'm seeing those vultures lay some mines right now. I think I'm about two
Yeah.
seconds behind you.
Okay.
And here comes Pusan pushing out the arbiter, and now he's got quite a bit of army. Although those vultures are doing a lot of economic damage in the
Yeah.
back at the third.
Vulture's doing so much damage, and Pusan moving in here right now. He's gonna try to break C at
But
his
the tanks
natural.
aren't sieged, and there's the
Good
big stasis.
stasis. Big stasis on the tanks. I don't know if he got enough of them though. This is gonna be a really tough
I think
force
he's
to
gonna
push
bust.
back.
I think he's gonna bust this. Oh, he's sending a lot of lots over, and the mines are gonna eat these up. Oh.
Oh man.
Although he's going to get a lot of tanks and maybe drag a mine into the SCV line also. I think this is going to work out for Pusan. He might
Yeah,
even
the
snipe that
tanks-
science vessel. Yes, he gets it.
The tanks on the high ground are such a big deal here. If C can get just a few more tanks on his high ground in his main, he'll be able to fend this off. And for now, it seems like he's cleaned up the forces, immediately harassing his bases. But yeah, pretty good hold there from C, I think.
It was a good
he didn't
hold.
sustain too much.
Yeah, but think about what he lost. He lost a lot of tanks, and those take a long time to rebuild, and you can't really attack without them. All Pusan lost was mostly zealots and goons, and those are cheap
He did
turrets.
lose a lot of probes in the
That's
in the
true.
vulture drop.
Absolutely, that's a great point.
That was going on in the background. So yeah, we've certainly got to take that into consideration. Vulture's here at the bottom right, getting fended off by some cannons, and you know I think C's in a pretty good position. That was a pretty good trade for him. And I don't know if Pusan's going to be able to deal with the upcoming push that we'll presumably see here in a few minutes.
Yeah, he does have a couple minutes to prep for that. He is going to have an arbiter with at least one
Yeah.
stasis, and it was really smart of him to take that fourth base down in the bottom right while pushing out, because he needs that econ to stay ahead of the three base Terran.
Yeah, definitely. And his armories are spinning, so I'm pretty sure he'll wait for the old 2-1 timing.
Yeah. So many vultures
up
here
three
for C,
bases.
and that's so annoying to deal with because you can send in zealots, but you're going to lose them to mines, and then the vultures can just micro their hearts out
Or,
and kill the rest
just
of
the
them.
vultures themselves.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those grenade canisters, man, zealots hate them. And a big EMP on that arbiter takes it down to 0 energy.
Oh.
That's huge. That is really big.
Yeah, really nice EMP there. it's certainly going to limit the defensive options that Pusan has available to him.
Right. If you can stasis a big clump of tanks in the back, you really hinder the Terran's DPS. But that's no longer an option that he has. So he's going to have to win this battle coming up with just good zealots and goons.
Yeah, definitely. Looks like he has probably a full energy arbiter accompanying him, his goons on the left here, and there's another arbiter
Yeah, that's definitely going to be ready for a
way
recall.
back on the left. Yeah,
He wants the
and
recall.
yeah, he might actually just be waiting for C to push out before he flies in there with his arbiter to get a big recall off.
Yeah,
But
that may be right.
But yeah, I mean, Pusan, I don't know. I think if he can establish these bases along the bottom right of the map and get them going for a while, he might be okay. But I don't know if he's going to have the time for that because C has just unsieged his army. It's time to move out, C says, and
Yeah.
he's walking across the map now with a gigantic mech army, and Pusan's going to need some crazy stasis, but at the same time,
Here it comes.
Arbiter's coming in.
Here
So
comes the Arbiter. And what does he do here? Is he going to pull back and try and defend, or is he going to go for the base race? That's a big recall. And now he's got to make a decision. Let's see what C does.
Let's see. Indeed,
He's not
looks like
unsieging.
he's just
not-
taking. Yeah, he's just going to take his mobile mech units and making the decision that it's probably enough. Four probes getting recalled.
Yeah, those probes are saying, "Hey, I can fight. I'm strong.
Yeah.
I have 40 total HP."
Yeah, he needs that extra firepower,
Hey, they do have those mining lasers, man. Don't discount it. And it does look like C is now bringing back his entire army. So Pusan didn't do a lot of damage with those goons, but he bought himself a lot of time. And now he's got Templar out. Now he's got Storm, and that's a really nice weapon to have in your arsenal.
Yeah, definitely. Buying himself some time is really the most that he could have hoped to accomplish with that. And I don't know if it's going to be enough, though. C's main army is the problem for Pusan right now.
Right. He's trying
And
trying every tactic he can to avoid having to face it head on, but eventually it's going to happen, and that's going to be pretty much the deciding fight of the game, I think.
It's going to be pain time. Coming up soon. Yes, it's only a matter of seconds here before C sieges up at Pusan's natural. It looks like Pusan's going for maybe a flank or a surround, though, moving his goons along the center of the map.
And this is really powerful. If those tanks are in back and you can bring the goons and even a couple zealots right up into their face, the tanks will die quickly, and then there's nothing left for the Terran army to do except for to die, because without the tanks you just don't have the DPS. And they're just going to move in and force a liftoff at this 4th CC.
Yeah, and it looks like C is actually moving his tanks in such a way that he wants to engage these goons here, or maybe catch them off guard, or no, he's just going down to the bottom right. So identifying that this part of the map, which is really half of Pusan's bases, including his fresh bases, is less defended. So he's really got his eyes on this bottom right here.
And this was smart by C, because Pusan's been doing a great job of dancing around, using recalls and everything to not fight head on. And C says, fine, you're going to kill my 4th? Well, I'm going to go kill your 4th. And you're going to have to come to me, because you need this base right now. You can't be losing your 4th and 5th bases, or you're in a bad shape.
Yeah, and he's established himself here in this nook here in the natural expansion. And that's going to be so difficult. Vulture mines planted behind him.
Yeah, and there's really no way to get through that Vulture minefield except just to sack a bunch of your army, and that's what he's doing. Big scan going down, so he sees everything. We're going to see some decent mine hits, and the tanks haven't been touched yet, although there is one stasis, maybe another going down. There's another one, and that's big.
Yeah, so that's big. I mean, that's good. Pusan being able to eventually deal with those tanks, but I mean, this is not even half of C's army. He's got another army. Look at that macro Terran coming into play here, and I don't think Pusan really has an answer for these reinforcements here.
I think you're right. I think he's going to wait for this stasis to wear off. He's going to kill the rest of these tanks, and then he may even have to recall in order to get out of here, because he's kind of stuck in a bad spot right here. And C might move over there try and save. He can't save the first three, but he's got a couple seconds to save these other four, and he might be able to do it. And I think he's going to.
Yeah, yeah, nice timing by C to hit right when the recall or the excuse me the stasis wears off. Some nice storms going off on a big clump of tanks, but they do stay alive.
Yeah, they're softened up, but they're not dead.
Yeah, and see, he's on 4 bases. He's really got a lot of production behind this, so things are just not looking too great for Pusan. He's mined out at his main. He's mined out as natural, and now with the mech army established and sieged up at pretty much the rest of his mining bases, it's looking pretty grim here.
Yeah, this is the Terran Vice just slowly tightening around C, and he's been wiggling and wiggling and wiggling. Sorry, around Pusan, trying to get out of it, but every time he wiggles and gets a little space, it just tightens up that much more. And there's really not really any way for him to engage this. He's got arbiters and he's got goons, but he has nothing to sync up to soak up the mines, nothing to soak up tank shots. He's got no zealots. He's just gonna walk in there. C's gonna scan, see the goons, and they're all gonna kind of blow up and die.
Oh, recall here at C's third. Pusan really trying to get any damage he can do to C.
This is a desperate
big mine
move.
going off.
Big mine, taking out 2 of the goons and a bunch of SUVs. Yeah, it's a fun play to watch, but that was really an act of desperation, I think. And C now
really
knows
is.
that there's no army down here in the bottom right, and he can move in here and mop this up. And we may just see a GG call pretty quick here.
Yeah, this is Pusan's last stand. He's kept all his units back here, and one final push here.
Yeah, another nice storm and another nice storm, but it's just not. It doesn't feel like it's enough. And you see a whole line of vultures streaming across the map, eager to lay their mines and pick off some Templar. This is pretty much GG. Another sort of desperate recall, but he's got tanks there ready for it, and that's not going to do any damage at all.
Although in the midst of all this, Pusan was able to, I guess, take out C's 4th base, because that's not there anymore.
Yeah, that's right. I didn't even see that. I didn't even. That must have
I don't
happened
think
in the last minute or so.
Yeah, I don't think the observers really caught that either. But
No.
so C's kind of down to 1 mining base only. His economic situation isn't amazing, or at least as good as I thought it was.
Yeah, I wonder if he'll float that CC from the main over to the 4th and start mining again. But until he gets that base set up, he's pretty much stuck with the army he has on the map right now, and only a small amount of reinforcements coming in.
Yeah, although, as you said before, it's probably not going to be too much. This is really Pusan's last stand here.
Is he going to?
He's got his.
Yeah, and defense matrix on the he arbiters it, he safety fields it. Pusan's getting good engagements here. Like he's in the last couple of engagements down here in the bottom right, I think it's come out cost effectively. It's just I don't think it's enough.
He does. Pusan was able to build up a kind of a sizable army, so he is going to clean up these units eventually at the bottom right. And amazingly, he's going to, I guess, eventually secure this bottom right location from any of C's units.
Yeah, and another good stasis on the Goliath, so the arbiters can't get picked up. You know, every time I think the game's over, Pusan's got a little bit left in the tank, and he may even be ahead right now, actually.
Yeah, really, really good play here from Pusan. I'm surprised he was able to survive through all of that Terran onslaught.
Really scrappy, really scrappy. None of his recalls into C's main or.
Oh man, and GG.
There's a GG. C just ran out of money.
Yeah, C ran out of money. He couldn't establish his I guess, second mining base that he had going, and wow, Pusan with some amazing defensive play, able to hold back C, and C just not getting the damage done that he needed to with those mech pushes. So really nice work there from C.
Yeah,
from Pusan.
Yeah, that whole time they were fighting in the bottom right, we were both assuming that C had a fourth base up and running and mining. And once he lost that, he just ran out of steam. You know, the Terran mech army is powerful, but it's very expensive. And if you're not mining, you're not going to be able to build your units. And if you don't have units in StarCraft, you're going to lose.
Yeah, it's not going to go. It's not going to go too well. So good game there out of Pusan. I to be honest, I kind of wasn't expecting him to win that game. So I'm pretty sure C's gonna be he's gonna bring game for the next match here.
Yeah, that Pusan did a lot right there. He that was sort of a nice lesson in how to fight a Terran mech army, which is to say, don't fight it. Recall around it, stasis it and freeze it. Um, Throw some zealots at it to like soak up the mines, but don't take a big 200 versus 200 supply engagement. And Pusan never did. The biggest engagements there were relatively small as far as the amount of supply concerned. Um, so if you don't let the mech army fight together as one big unit when it's the strongest, then you can kind of pick it apart, and that's what he did.
Yeah, no, you're quite right. Pusan or C never really got the engagement he wanted to. He produced a lot of strong units, got a huge mech army, but yeah, never got the direct engagement he was looking for, and critically wasn't able to get enough of Pusan's mining bases down before Pusan was able to recover. So really good game there out of Pusan.
Yeah, well done. And I didn't see the players stand up, so it looks like this will be a best of three.
Yeah, most likely. I mean, again, best of ones, not very likely here. So yeah, at least a best of three coming in. Yeah, most likely. I mean, again, best of ones, not very likely here. But for those tuning in, this is C versus Pusan, and we've got Bisu and Killer in the next bracket. So definitely stick around for that because that is going to be another really exciting matchup.
I'm reading the Twitch chat, which is like mistake number one in the caster book of mistakes, and I'm loving all the rips at my casting, and I just can't wait until we get into a ZVP, which as a Terran player I know even less about, because the chat's really going to enjoy that.
Oh man, ZVP is great though. I mean, you gotta
It's
have fun
phenomenal to
casting
watch.
ZVP.
It's phenomenal. I just don't know it as well.
It's a pretty good matchup.
Yeah, it's a great matchup, and we have the top two players in the races doing it. So I think that's probably going to be the series of the night. Is my
Oh
prediction.
yeah, Bisu and Killer are definitely known to produce really really high quality games. And look at this venue, man.
This is really nice. This is it's no.
This is
beach,
StarCraft Brood War in
but-
2014.
Yeah. This if you showed me a picture of this 2 years ago and said Brood War, this will be Brood War in 2 years, I would have said I don't believe you, to put it respectfully.
Yeah, no, it's really nice the promotion and sponsorship that Brood War has gotten recently. I mean, there's a lot of exciting things happening in the scene right now with the what was it, the Love TV Star League
TV.
3 coming up now with the massive prize pool. So that's going to start up soon, and show matches like this, really, really good. Has gotten recently. I mean, there's a lot of exciting things happening in the scene right now with the what was it, the Love TV Star League 3 coming up now with the massive prize pool. So BornToPun, you're a Terran player, right? And
Yeah.
so you've probably executed some mech pushes similar to the one we just saw here. What do you think would be going through your head coming into this next game if you were to see it?
Well, I do like to think of myself as being as good as Terran, if not better than C. So I'm certainly qualified to answer that
At
question.
least as good.
I think the mistake that C made there, I think the mistake he made was he wasn't decisive enough. When we saw that first recall from Pusan into his natural, I think it was, C left his tanks in the middle of the map for a long time. He came back with some other units, but he didn't do anything decisive. If he had brought his entire army back and just cleaned that up quickly, and then turned right back around and said, hey look, your Arbiter's gone now, it's got no energy, I'm going to come back and now I'm going to attack you at your front, I think that game may have gone differently. But he spent so much time running around the middle of the map, and he eventually decided to go down to the bottom right, but by that time, I think it may have just been a little bit later than he needed to make that push. And even when he got down there, he sieged up in the natural, of the bottom right, but he was never sieging the actual base. He was never having his tanks in range of the Nexus. Um, so I think
Yeah, I think
that
that
may have been a
that pretty
mistake.
much covers it. The indecision is definitely a big deal there, and Pusan's recalls really really got a lot done in the way of buying him lots of time.
Hmm.
I mean, because as you mentioned, he was kind of confused on the middle of the map there, not really sure where to go with his tanks for a long time when they were probably at their most effective
Right.
point in the game.
Right.
And it's really easy for us to kind of look at C's play and pick apart like, oh, he should have probably moved his tanks in here and got them in position of the Nexus. But of course it's in the moment it's really hard to kind of do that. There's so many things going on at the same time, and C has to keep track of so many things, and it's often really difficult to make that decision because whenever you unsiege your tanks, you're really opening yourself up to really large vulnerability if the Protoss army decides to push in at that time.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely. So, what do you expect here from the second match? Do you think C will say, "I'm going to try and play another macro game"? Because that was a really standard macro game there. Both players were on 3 and then 4 bases. Does C come back and try and do it again and just do it a little better? Do we see a little bit of a cheese build, or how do you think it's going to go?
yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think C's standard macro Terran play would generally be just enough, pretty much, to take out any Protoss. So I don't think this game is going to phase him. I think he's going to stick to the plan, and just I don't know. Hopefully, well, at least in C's mind, roll him over with good macro. Just enough, pretty much, to take out any. And look, this our 4 show match contestants here. Pretty boys being interviewed.
Having a good laugh. Look at Bisu in that nice sweater. He's so classy. What a classy guy.
For those that don't know, that's C on the far left. This is Bisu here, and Pusan, and then Killer on the far right.
Lucas, you may appreciate this. I actually have a picture of me with Bisu.
Do you?
I do.
That's pretty good.
I was in.
You should frame it.
I should frame it. Yeah, I'll blow it up and make it into a wallpaper for my entire apartment. I was in South Korea last year, and I went to a StarCraft 2 match. And I can't remember who was playing, but it was somebody from Bisu's team was playing from SK Telecom, and so their whole team was there. So I got a picture of me with Bisu, and I got a picture of me with Boxer.
Oh, nice. Yeah, there's some good players. Nice work
Yeah,
there.
they're pretty good. You may have heard of them. You may have heard of them.
I have. I actually saw Flash play at IEM Toronto a few months ago.
Oh,
so
yeah.
That was pretty.
And he
yeah.
won that tournament, right?
He did. Yeah,
big
that was pretty fun.
Yeah, Flash was sort of treading water for a while in the SC2 scene. Never won a big tournament until I think that was his first big win. And then it must have been last weekend or maybe the weekend before, Home Story Cup. Flash came second in a really excellent 7-game series against,
Yeah.
who was it? Was it
Oh, it was parting.
Parting?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that was a great
But-
series.
Yeah, I mean, it would be really nice to get Flash playing some Brood War though again. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely. So are you saying that you hope his SC2 career absolutely tanks so that he goes back to Brood War? That's devious. That's devious, Lucas.
It looks like that's not going to be the way it'll turn out. No, he's doing quite well there. So I wish him the best of luck and success.
Hey, but if they're going to be having these $50,000 prize pool tournaments in Brood War again, Flash may just say, "Hey, I'm going to go back to the game that I've played my whole life, the game that I was the best at, and I'm going to make some money doing that." You never know.
Yeah, especially if the SC2 scene fizzles out sometime. Maybe Brood War will just live on.
Right. Yeah. 2 years ago, SC2 was pretty big still, and Brood War was, as I would say, at its lowest. Maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago. But since then, Brood War's been creeping back up, and SC2's been kind of, it's doing okay. Still got the major tournaments, but I don't know. Until Legacy of the Void comes out, I don't think SC2 will really know for sure where it's going to end up in the esports scene.
Yeah, not sure, but good things in the Brood War scene abound. Thankfully, we've got so much going on here with the almost like the OSL MSL paradigm that we saw in the days of past. We've got Love TV and Sonic both dishing out major tournaments with lots of prize money. So that's going to attract a lot of people and
Right.
hopefully get a lot of sponsors on board.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, it's sort of the snowball effect. You know, you have a big prize pool tourney, attracts better players, better fans, and then the next time around, you can afford a bigger one. So hopefully they get some momentum going. Can you think of any game as old as Brood War that has anything near this level of pro scene still?
Pro scene, I don't know. I mean, Counter Strike's pretty old, and it's got somewhat of a pro scene. I mean, I mean, if you oh man,
What a cutie.
that is interesting. But yeah, I mean, there's some old games out there that still have somewhat of a pro scene still. But no, you're right. I mean, not that I know of. I mean, I pretty much just kind of follow Brood War, and it's doing pretty well. So I'm happy to see that in
Yeah.
2014 we still got tournaments like this.
Yeah, CS, Counter Strike. I think since CS:GO came out, I think it's mostly everything switched over to that. There may still be
Yeah.
some old original 1.6 tournaments going on. I don't
Oh
frankly
yeah,
know.
there's some 1.6 purists out there for sure.
I'm sure there are. I'm sure
but
there are.
if we're gonna say that CS:GO is part of the same, it's like kind of the same game if you're including it in that.
No,
Then
I'm
yeah,
saying the
it's-
opposite. I'm saying like you can't give Counter Strike credit for being an old game
Oh
if you're
right.
including CS:GO. So I'm seeing someone in chat says Melee. Melee is a great game and still going strong, but I don't think it came out. It came out like years after. Well, what year did Brood War,
Yeah,
what year did Brood War come out?
Oh man, you're asking some tough questions. I'm gonna say it wasn't it like 90. I want to say late 90s sometime.
Huh. 96. I see in chat 96. Okay, and Melee came out in like what? 04, 05. So Brood War's
Although
got
when
like a
did
good 10 years on it. Brood War.
but
Okay, now I
when
see
did
2001.
the
so Brood War.
when did the first Super Smash Brothers come out for N64?
For N64, that must have come out. You know, I have a memory. I have a very, I have a very old memory of unlocking Ness in N64 Smash, and being so excited. And that must have been like 1998 or something.
Yeah, that sounds about right. So yeah, there's definitely like at least some other uh, comp communities out there, but I mean the legacy that Brood War has that it's riding on is just so massive from everything we've seen in the pro scene in Korea, and to see that it's still in really high demand here. I mean, I hear that it often is in the what top 10 at least played in PC bangs in Korea. So a lot of people still play it and
Yeah.
follow it.
Yeah, absolutely. I see in the chat here someone says there's a 120K prize pool Age of Empires 2 game going on.
Right.
That's
And-
amazing.
And I hear that's because there's like some Saudi prince or something who really likes the game that's donated to it.
He's just throwing barrels of oil at the scene, trying to get it to come back. I like that strategy.
Yeah, that's what Brood War needs. We need our own like Saudi prince or something.
Yeah. If there's any Saudi princes in our 100 Twitch viewers, oh, and by the way, we just hit 100 viewers. Awesome. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. If any of you are Saudi princes with oil money just coming out of every pocket that you don't know what to do with, we got some ideas, and they mostly involve
Yeah.
Brood War.
And definitely just, don't even worry about it. Just funnel all your money into us.
Yeah.
And just take care of it.
Yeah, just send me a check and don't worry about it.
It's all for a good cause.
It has been a while since the last game ended.
Yeah, this is
What are they
some
doing?
long delay
Yeah.
between the games. I hope they'll smooth this out for the other series. Because we might be here for a while. But hey, it's Brood War, so...
Hey, before this game, before this cast, I went to the gas station, and this is what my life has come to, Lucas. I bought a Monster Energy, caffeine-free. I bought a caffeine-free Monster Energy drink, and I just finished it about a minute ago.
So, So how can you really justify that? Are you kind of like drinking it for the taste?
I'm drinking it because I felt like I should be drinking an energy drink, but I don't want to drink an energy drink at 11 p.m. at night.
That's some pretty dark stuff, man.
Yeah, it's sort of like a catch-22, in which I basically just paid like $3 for something that doesn't serve its entire purpose of existence, which is to give you a caffeine boost. But you know what? I like the taste, so all's not lost.
Definitely. And you might get some placebo effect there.
Absolutely.
No,
Yeah,
no
and there's
caffeine. It's okay.
yeah, but there's plenty of sugar, so I'm a little bit on that sugar high. This cast is live right now.
Yeah. And the caster lady just, threw her hand at the screen, so
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that means we got to go ahead here. So
Yeah, here's Bisu
the
though.
man
It's gonna be best of
himself.
ones. It's gonna be BO1s.
I guess that's right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
They don't call it a special match for nothing. Maybe if we're lucky, the finals will be best of 3, but we could be here for just a short three-game show match.
And so, I mean, the man who needs no introduction, really. Bisu.
You know what? Actually, let me end my
Look at this-
recording. I'm not going to turn the stream off, but let me end my
Yeah.
recording just so when I upload this to YouTube, we can have it separate video.
Good idea. Yeah. Bisu showing